So about 2 years ago, I decided to completely simplify my life. What I did is I put my life in bin bags and I only took out the stuff that mattered, and it actually resulted ending up in a bag that I carry around. I wear similar stuff every single day. I got rid of all my distractions, got rid of my smartphone, I put blockers on my laptop. I only work on big projects when it comes to the business, and I have a 9 to 5. I go to bed at 9, I get up at 5. If you watch this video, you'll see how I see distractions like clutter in a garage, and it's impossible to fit a car into a garage when there's things everywhere. You need to organize it all together. You can see how my general mood is a lot more consistent and more calm, and then these are the words that I now use to describe my life as opposed to chaotic all over the place. It's tidy, calm, organized, and relaxed. So follow along to see all the reasons why and how I came to these conclusions. Probably. So thing number one that I did to simplify my life is I got rid of basically all my possessions. So I put them all in a bag. The way that I kind of did this was I got all of my stuff and I put it into bin bags. And then basically, if I had to use any of it, I went to the bin bags and I took them out. And what I ended up doing was throwing away 95% of the stuff that I had. And what that's led to is a lot less clutter. Funny, I always used to be kind of like an untidy person in general. And now it's like, well, I can't really be that untidy when I haven't got that much stuff, right? And so it was a really good experiment for me. I read a book, The Magic and Art of Tidying by a Japanese lady. I can't remember her name. And this is what it basically said to do. Put your life in bags or put it away somewhere. And then if you needed any of it, then take it out of the bag because that's when you know it's useful. And I took this to another level. I moved a lot of my stuff while I was living in Bath. I moved a lot of it back to London in my parents' house. And what ended up happening was I forgot that I even had a lot of this stuff, and I didn't even go back and use it. And that to me proved that, well, I clearly don't need to use it if I haven't used it in the last 3 months, 4 months. And what this has done is it's just led to me knowing that everything that I have in a bag, by the way, I have a small bag and I have a big bag that I use basically for traveling, and that's all I have. I know that in there I've got, I'll come to clothing and stuff in a second. Number two, I guess I'll write clothing for this one. But what it basically means is that I've got my laptop, I've got my chargers, I've got my clothes, I've got my work stuff that I need, and I don't really need much else. And there might be a time in my life where I need to get all of it back, but for now, for this phase of life that I'm in, it makes it so much more simple. And what that does is it just means that when I'm in a cluttered room or I'm in a cluttered house, my brain also feels cluttered. And when I have so little things, I just feel free, basically. So that's the first thing. I put my life in a bag. The second thing that I did is I really simplified the clothing. Now, if you're astute, you might have noticed that I've been wearing the same thing basically for the last 3 videos. I do wash them, right? But it's just, I just wear the same stuff. And so this basically means that I have to wash my clothes like once or twice a week as per normal. And what I do normally is I have 3 or 4, usually like 5 or 6 pairs of t-shirts, 3 pairs of trousers, 3 pairs of shorts, boxers and socks. And that's basically it. And as long as they're comfy and they're cozy and they don't look like I'm like scruffy, then it's perfect. And what it does is when I wake up in the morning, I just put on the clothes that I've laid out the night before. And those clothes I just kind of pick out because all of them work with each other. All of the color combinations work. And it's perfect. Now, I pick these clothes specifically so that if I do need to get into like a nice restaurant or anything, I can easily get in. If I need to go to the gym, I can also train in them, so they're very stretchy, but they also look nice. They're not necessarily waterproof, but then I have a jacket. So it just means that I've completely simplified what I wear, and so I haven't got to make that decision in the morning, right, which is absolutely perfect. The third thing that I've done to simplify my life is no distractions. And if you watched yesterday's video, you're very aware that I do not own a smartphone. I have a Nokia brick. And what else have I done to simplify the kind of like no distractions kind of thing is I put blockers on my laptop. I have made it very clear to my team to not necessarily contact me unless it's urgent. And if it's not urgent, then I'll get back to them next day or kind of same day in my own time. When I'm doing, at this point in business, I'm working on things, and this is kind of like another big point, which is no small projects. I'll come back to this in a second. But at this phase in Cali Unity, we're working on bringing the brand worldwide. So opening up locations in London and essentially all over the world. So we're actually researching and looking for new locations. And I essentially cannot be working distracted, otherwise I get nothing done. And so what I do with this is I put music on, I sit in a space with no distractions, and I just get on with work. And the big thing of that is focus is saying no to distractions, right? It's like you can say, I'm going to go and do focused work, but then you can work in a cafe with all your friends there, or you can put yourself in a closet or in a room with no one there, with headphones on, looking at a white wall, blocking all distractions of social media and the news and everything else, and then you get into your work. How much more do you get done? And for me, I'd rather do 4 hours of work a day and have deep focused work during that time rather than working a 9 to 5, 8 hours, but being very distracted. And so I usually try to front load all of my work in the morning. And this is how I still have time to edit every single day, to run a business, to do all the stuff that I do, because I have no distractions. But that also leads me to the next point, which is no small projects. I don't work on the small things anymore. When I mean small, I mean, let me tell you a story about this. So back about 6 months ago, I was very much engaged in every single part of the business. I was looking at fulfillment, I was trying to improve stuff, I was looking at the marketing, the sales, the team. And then what I realized was everyone else is thinking about this stuff, but no one's thinking about the big things, right? Where we're going next, what's the marketing plan, what's the overall direction of the business. And as the owner of a business, that's my job. It's my job to kind of put out the really big fires, which are going to destroy the business, and let the small fires burn, which are the small things which other people can deal with. And so what I've done is I've shifted all my attention and simplified to only work on the big things, right? How I kind of come to the conclusion of what is a big thing is a whole other discussion, but just know that I've taken off all the small parts, and it also means that I don't get distracted by other side projects when it comes to the business. We know what we're good at, we know what we do, and we do that really, really well, and we just keep doing that over and over, okay? Number 5 is routine. I guess this is probably the last one unless I think of any more. But my routine is basically the same every single day. I get up at 5, I go to bed at 9. I always joke with Kira that is my 9 to 5. I go to bed at 9, I get up at 5, I do the same thing in the morning, I do the same thing in the evening, I work, and I do the same thing of work every single morning. I check the numbers, I do the lead numbers, I do the finances, etc. every single morning, and in the evening I tend to do the same thing. And my brain loves routine, it loves habit, it loves consistency. Without it, it's all over the place, it's completely unmanageable, and I would be good for no one because it would just be crazy, right? And so for me, routine is so important. That's stuff like setting a bedtime alarm, it's training every single day in the gym, it's the routine that I have in the gym, it's forward planning, etc., etc. So it's simplifying that routine into its bare basics of, say, a 9 to 5, which makes it so much easier to do. Now, if I put these over here, these are the reasons why, these are the things that I'm doing, and these are the reasons why I think they've really helped me in my life. So I think of an analogy for this. If you want to think of an analogy for this, I see your brain as a garage, like a car garage, right? And if you've got all this stuff in the garage, you've got, let's say for the sake of the metaphor, you've got literal stuff that you have, but you have stresses because you're working on all these small projects. You're deciding what to wear. Small thing, but hey, you've got tons of distractions. Your brain's all over the place. You haven't got a routine. You're making it up every single day. You've got all these things. The garage itself is cluttered. There's stuff everywhere. Nothing's organized, and it's just all over the place. You might not have that much stuff, but because it's not organized and not simplified, if you try to reverse a car into it, you're going to hit loads of stuff. You're going to go crazy in your brain. And so what I like to do is here's my garage. Look, here we go. Right, there's my garage. Okay, and I want to reverse my car into there. If the actual garage, what I try and do is I try and go, right, okay, well, can I get rid of all the stuff in this garage? That's the first question. Like, can I get rid of it? Okay, cool. Yes, I can. Can I simplify the routines that I do every single day? Yes, I can wear the same kind of thing. Yes, I can get up at 5 and go to bed at 9. Can I only work on the big projects so that my brain is focused on one thing? As a side note for this one, it's really hard to work on lots of small projects. From my experience, like, my brain is very good at attacking one thing really well. It's really bad at doing lots of stuff. And again, there's no distractions. Now, I've actually got the space to drive a bloody car in there. So when something happens, like something bad happens in my life, or I have to work on something big, I've got the space in my head to actually work on that stuff. And so what it means is that I don't get overwhelmed with that stuff as well. The next thing is that I found myself so much more efficient, right? Before, my brain was kind of like this, going all over the place, right? And now it's maybe like something happens and then it's just this, right? And so maybe this is just my brain. I know my brain can be all over the place, but this is what it's been like recently because I don't have as much stuff. I have the same routine because the garage is a lot more organized. I have space for the big things that I can actually sort through in my life, and so it makes it so much better for me to get big things done and work on them. And I guess the final thing on this is that when you do simplify everything and you do put things down to their bare basics, again, small things, let me write this down. I'm a lot more tidy, and I guess a lot more organized. I'm a lot more calm, relaxed, right? Like, these are nice words. You know, these things come as a result of removing things from my life, and that's made it so much easier for me. So this is kind of like the overall conclusion, I guess, of today. So I simplified my life, and what I did was I put all my stuff in bin bags, and then I took things out if I needed them, and that resulted in me literally having a bag that I own everything in. It means that I have very minimal clothing, and I basically wear the same clothes every day, and I have the same type of clothes. They all mix and match, and it's really simple. I have no distractions. I got rid of my smartphone. I got rid of essentially all social media. People have been asking me, well, how do you upload and how do you do all this kind of stuff? I've got 2 cameras, and I've got the Osmo, so I don't film on any iPhone, and I edit on my laptop, and then I use an app called Later to upload the shorts, and then on YouTube I just upload it on YouTube Studio, like easy, you know. And if I need to use a phone, I will ask Kira for her phone, and that's basically it. I only work on big projects, not small projects anymore. And note on this, I still do things like daily finances, lead numbers, etc. But that's the most important thing of the small projects, and it is kind of leading to the big thing, which is the overall direction of the business, because you need to know the data to understand where you're going. And then I do the same routine every single day. So I go to bed at 9, I get up at 5, and that's led to this analogy of the garage, where I can actually fit stuff into the garage because everything's actually organized rather than it being all over the place. My general mood, my brain, it allows me to actually think about big things, and overall I'm a lot more calm. And then these are the kind of words that I guess describe it as a tidy, organized, relaxed, calm, etc. So if you did enjoy the video, guys, firstly, comment below about how do you simplify your life, and do you want to simplify your life? What would that look like? Are you going to take any inspiration from any of these kind of points here? And if you do want to watch more of these videos and see like a daily upload on just little things that I do in my life that could help yours, you might get a nugget out of this, then please hit subscribe. I'm trying to upload almost every single day to the channel so you can see more of the stuff. And if you really did like it, like the video, share it with someone else who you know needs to simplify, or who wants to simplify their life. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.